In today's video, I'm going to show you how to manage connections in Make so you can keep all your app integrations organized, secure, and running smoothly. Make is a powerful automation platform that lets you connect hundreds of apps without needing to write code. And managing those connections properly is crucial because a broken or expired connection can cause your entire scenario to fail. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. First things first, you'll need to log into your Make account. Head over to make.com and enter your credentials. If you have two-factor authentication enabled, go ahead and complete that step now. It adds a solid layer of security to your account. Once you're in, you'll land on your dashboard, which shows you an overview of your recent scenarios, team activities, and any notifications. Don't worry if it looks a bit busy at first. You'll get familiar with it quickly. Now, to start managing your connections, you need to access the Connections section. Click on your profile picture or initials in the top right corner of the screen. From the drop-down menu, select Settings. Depending on your workspace setup, you might see a Workspace Settings option instead, but either path will get you where you need to be. Inside the Settings area, look for a tab or menu item labeled Connections on the left-hand side. Go ahead and click that. This is your central hub, the place where every app you've ever authenticated through Make is listed. Once you're in the Connections section, take a moment to review the list of all your currently linked accounts and services. You'll see each connection displayed with the app's icon, the name you've given it, and some basic status information. This is a great opportunity to do a quick audit. If this list has grown long over time, don't worry, we'll clean it up together. For now, just scroll through and get a sense of what's there. You might spot an old integration you forgot about, like a test account from a project you wrapped up months ago. Next, you'll want to identify the connection types. Each connection in the list belongs to a specific app, like Google Sheets, Slack, or Gmail. Make groups them by app so you can see at a glance which services you use most. This matters because different apps handle authentication differently. Some require OAuth tokens, others need API keys, and some use simple username and password logins. Knowing the type helps you understand how to troubleshoot or reauthorize a connection if something goes wrong later. For example, if you have 3 connections all for Google Drive and one of them stops working, you'll know exactly which one to target. Now check the connection status. Each entry will clearly show whether it's active or expired. Active connections are usually marked with a green indicator, while expired ones might appear in yellow or red. If a connection is expired, it means the access token Make was using has timed out and the app no longer allows communication. This happens frequently with apps like Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace, which require reauthorization every few months. Spotting expired connections early can save you from scenario failures that you would otherwise have to hunt down later. To add a new connection, you'll typically do it while configuring a module inside a scenario. Let's say you're building an automation that needs to pull data from Salesforce. In the scenario editor, when you click on a Salesforce module, you'll see an option to add connection. Click that and a new window pops up asking you to authenticate. This is the standard method. Most of the time, you don't add connections from the main settings page, but right when you need them. This keeps your connection list clean and only contains what you actively use. When you click Add Connection, you'll be prompted to authorize access. A new browser tab or pop-up will open, taking you to the app you're connecting to. Sign in with your account credentials for that service. After logging in, the app will ask you to grant specific permissions to Make. These might include reading your files, sending emails, or modifying data. Read through the permission list carefully. It's best practice to grant only the permissions that are strictly necessary for your automation. If your scenario only needs to read data, don't approve write access. This limits any potential risk if a connection is ever compromised. Once the connection is established, Make automatically generates a generic name based on the account email. You'll want to rename connections to something descriptive. Click on the connection in the list, then choose the rename option. Use a clear convention like Salesforce Production John or Google Drive Client Reports. This becomes incredibly valuable when you have multiple connections for the same app. Without descriptive names, you'll find yourself guessing which one is which, and that leads to mistakes in your scenarios. Now it's time to clean house by removing unused connections. Scroll through your list and look for connections that you're no longer using, maybe an old Trello account from a past project or a test Slack workspace. Click on the connection, then select Delete. A confirmation prompt will appear to make sure you're sure. Deleting unused connections reduces clutter and improves security because fewer active tokens mean fewer potential vulnerabilities. Just be aware that if you have any active scenarios using that connection, they will break immediately, so only delete connections you're certain are obsolete. If you come across an expired connection that you still need, you'll need to reconnect it. Click on the expired connection, then look for a reconnect or refresh button. When you click it, Make will walk you through the authorization process again, usually the same steps as adding a new connection. The app will ask you to log in and grant permissions once more. After you complete that, the connection status should change back to active. Always test the connection after reconnecting to make sure the token was saved correctly. Speaking of security, take a moment to review your security settings for each connection. In the connection details, you can see the permissions that were granted. If you notice an app has access to more data than your automation needs, you might want to consider creating a new connection with tighter permissions and deleting the old one. This is especially important for apps like Google Drive or Dropbox, where a broad permission could expose a lot of personal or client data. Keep security front of mind. It's one of the easiest ways to protect yourself and your organization. Now, to confirm everything works, you should test your connections. The best way to do this is by running a simple scenario that uses the connection. Create a bare bones module that just retrieves one piece of data. For example, get the last row from a Google Sheet or fetch the latest email from your inbox. Run the scenario once and check the output. If you see the data you expected, the connection is functional. This testing step is often skipped, but it catches misconfigurations before they cause issues in production. Finally, if your account information changes, say you update your password or enable two-factor authentication on a service, you need to update your credentials in Make. Go back to the Connections section, click on the affected connection, and look for an Update Credentials or Reauthorize option. Enter your new login details or complete the new authentication flow. Make does not automatically sync changes from external apps, so this manual step is critical. After you update, remember to save any changes by clicking the Save or Apply button in the connection window. Unsaved changes won't take effect and your next scenario run might fail. By the end of this guide, your Make connection should be organized, secure, and fully functional. You've audited your list, removed deadweight, reauthorized expired links, and tested everything to confirm it works. Keeping your connections tidy means fewer unexpected failures and faster troubleshooting when something does go wrong. As a next step, consider setting a recurring reminder every few months to revisit this section and check for expired connections. And if you ever run into trouble, just come back to this video. I've laid out every step so you can follow along again. Thanks for watching and happy automating.